So Mo Brooks is a representative from Alabama, and he's currently running for the Senate. Now, this guy loves President Trump. He's all in for President Trump. Now, understand something. There are a number of races around the country right now where Trump has endorsed candidates, and those candidates are down. And I think that's a reflection of the fact that Trump cannot shut up about the 2020 election. He can't stop calling it rigged. And this is an issue where the overwhelming majority of the country is against him, but even only 15% of Republicans want any politician to talk about that. They want to talk about inflation. They want to talk about the economy. They want to talk now about the war in Ukraine. They're not interested in rehashing 2020 anymore. It's over. It's dead. It's gone. It's done. There were over 60 court cases. Trump lost almost every one of them. They did the Arizona audit where Trump lost by more than he lost on election day. Wrap it up, dog. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. So anyway, Mo Brooks got Donald Trump's endorsement. Of course, as a result of that, he jizzed in his pants. Now, they hit a rough patch here, though. And Trump has rescinded his endorsement. You're going to love the story as to why. So Trump releases a statement and he says the following. Mo Brooks was a leader on the 2020 election fraud, and then, all of a sudden, during the big rally in Alabama, he went woke. Woke Mo Brooks? He says, and he decided to drop everything he stood for. When he did, the people of Alabama dropped him. And now, I have done so also. The people get it, but unfortunately, Mo doesn't. As far as Mitch McConnell, I am not a fan, and there's been no harsher critic than me. He has been absolutely terrible and very bad for the GOP. The sooner he leaves leadership, the better off the Republican Party will be. So, what is the great sin of Mo Brooks, which now leads Trump to call him woke? He said, look, we need to look forward and not backwards. We need to look towards the 2022 races and the 2024 races. We can't keep rehashing the 2020 race. This is what he said. Now, if I'm not mistaken, at this rally, that led to the audience to boo. So, of course, this is, understand something, that sentiment is not popular in the country, the rigged election stuff, but at, Trump rallies, it is going to be popular. But it's very, very, very insular at the moment. So, understand something, this isn't even Mo Brooks saying, hey, on the merits, Trump, I think you're wrong. Like, I think it is factual that Biden won. That's not even what he's saying. His point kind of is, even if that's the case, which I kind of grant, we should still move on as a matter of strategy. So it's not even a substantive disagreement. It's just a strategic disagreement. And Trump drops him and calls him woke. That really goes to show you in no uncertain terms how wokeness is just this wet blanket that Republicans like to throw over anything. Anything they don't like, they just describe as woke. And the other thing they do, as Kevin Sorbo did and we made fun of, is they call anything they don't like communism. So whatever they dislike, no argument needed, just call it communism, just call it wokeness, and move on. The idea that Mo Brooks is woke is hilarious. Now the story gets even crazier though, because Mo Brooks, in response to Trump doing this, he released a statement. And he said the following. President Trump asked me to rescind the 2020 elections, immediately remove Joe Biden from the White House, immediately put President Trump back in the White House, and hold a new special election for the presidency. Like, what? As a lawyer, I've repeatedly advised President Trump that January 6th was the final election contest verdict, and neither the U.S. Constitution nor the U.S. Code permit what President Trump asks. Period. I've told President Trump the truth, knowing full well that it might cause President Trump to rescind his endorsement, but I took a sworn oath to defend and protect the U.S. Constitution. I honor my oath. That is the way I am. I break my sworn oath for no man. So, look at what Mo Brooks is saying Trump told him to do. The idea that Trump even thinks anybody has the ability to do this is astounding to me. Now, by the way, there's a question, do you believe what Mo Brooks is saying? I do. I see no reason for him to lie about this. And so he's saying Trump wanted him to immediately remove Joe Biden from the White House. How the hell would a congressman do that? Immediately put President Trump back in the White House and hold a new special election for the presidency? Bro, on what planet? On what? Biden's been in office for a while now, son. It's over. It's done. This is how insane he's gotten. Guys, it's hard to avoid this conclusion, but there's a chance Trump self-destructs on this one issue. Because, look, on everything else, even though he's goofy, even though he's unprepared, even though he's not a policy guy, etc., we can go on all day here, he's not polling that bad on other issues. In fact, he's tied with Biden in some polls. But this one issue, people want him to shut up about, and he cannot stop talking about it. And he's burning every bridge left and right as a result of it. It's preposterous. Now, I'll end this with the funniest point of all, which is Mo Brooks is such a Trump simp that he used to have as his Twitter name, it said, Mo Brooks - endorsed by President Trump. Oh, you're so sad, bro. You're so sad. And then, of course, he changed that after this fiasco to just Mo Brooks. And I should also note, apart from the absolutely psychotic thing that Trump was asking Mo Brooks to do, Mo Brooks has, since he's been dumped by Trump, he's still gone on to say, like, he's the greatest president of my lifetime. So wait, what is it? Is he a literal threat to democracy and the country because he's trying to overthrow it and become a dictator? Or is he the greatest president of your lifetime? Or do you think it's both? Because clearly you have no principled objection to dictatorship. Oh, man. I mean, look, this story's big online, but there's not nearly enough talk about it. This is astonishing to me. The guy's totally lost his mind, and he's still leading by a mile in the 2024 Republican primary polls. That's astounding. Now, the other reason is, and Crystal made this point to me, and I didn't realize it until she made the point, but she thinks part of Trump's consideration here is that Mo Brooks was up in the polls, and now he's down in the polls. Now, Trump lies and says, oh, that's all because he didn't endorse the rigged election stuff. That is nonsense. If anything, he might actually have gone down because he was endorsed by Trump. That's definitely a possibility. We don't know for sure, but that's definitely a possibility. But she thinks it's him trying to, save face by dumping some of the candidates who are going to lose, because a lot of the Trump-endorsed candidates are down big time. So that's possible because the guy's all about self-preservation. But anyway, there you have it. These guys are sad. It's incredibly pathetic. And it's astounding that Trump is probably the favorite or tied as one of the favorites to again be the next president of the U.S.